Hello amigos, comments and welcome back to the channel. So we just got done watching Mexico versus US men's national team live at the Azteca, which was awesome. It was awesome watching Mexico play, but the game was actually pretty trash. So let's get into the starting lineup. So I actually thought the starting lineup was surprisingly good. Obviously with the same front three, arguably the strongest front three. Chucky, Raul, and Tecatito. I might have suggested maybe going for Vega up front instead of Vega in on the wings instead, but overall on paper at least they're the best front three in Mexico. But you didn't see that in this game. Midfield I thought was alright. Hachacho's obviously was going to start. Edson as well. Edson's been alright. He had a iffy time at Ajax recently, but he's doing well in the Champions League. Um, the defense for me was a surprising bit. Obviously, a terrible start as well, which is a given really. Um, but the defense was a surprising thing for me. The inclusion of Vasquez and Arteaga, as well as Jorge Sanchez, a really young, and obviously, sorry, Cesar Montes is in there as well. A super young Mexican backline, which I thought was really cool. I didn't expect to see Vasquez or Arteaga play, to be honest with you. I thought Gallardo would start. I thought Ernesto Araujo or Moreno would start. I always want to sneeze when I play these videos. I don't know why. So yeah, I was quite happy with the starting 11. To be honest with you, I wouldn't have minded having Vegas start, like I said. But overall, I think it was a decent team. Should have been more than enough to beat a US men's national team, who are riddled with injuries and absences and all this other stuff. And as well as the Azteca, the Azteca has an atmosphere and an aura about it that the US men's national teams have in the past come up against and failed. Um, then going into the game, I mean, I don't know where to start, to be honest with you. I think Ochoa was probably the best Mexican player on the team, on the field, and that tells you everything you need to know. I mean, he made some outstanding saves. USA definitely came closest to scoring. Pulisic just, you know my feelings on Pulisic anyway, but he had a couple of chances that he should have scored. He didn't. Ochoa made some really good saves. The defense wasn't too bad either. Jorge Sanchez likes to get forward, but Arteaga thought did well. Vasquez thought did well. So is Montes. For me, the battle was lost in midfield. Hacha never really seemed, and Edson really never really seemed to get full control of the game. Edson got an early yellow card as well, so he was all edgy for the most of the game because obviously he's on the yellow. He doesn't want to get yellow on the yellow because if Mexico had gone one man down in that game, I think they would have lost. Um, so yeah, I mean, I think USA had a quite comfortable game in midfield, to be honest with you. And then the front three, man. I mean, all three have had terrible have had a terrible year for Mexico. They just can't score at the moment. None of them. Um, Chucky's been riddled with injuries this season. Raul Jimenez obviously hasn't been the same since his massive major injury. He's come back from Wolves. Initially did alright, but now he's on a bit of a dry spell with Wolves and a bit of a shaky spell as well because they keep um, kicking him out of the first 11. So he's on a bit of a weird thing at the moment. Tegatito got his move to Sevilla and seems to be doing really well with Sevilla, but it still can't translate that into the national team. Chucky, for me in particular, was pretty terrible in this game, which is hard for me to say because I love Chucky Lozano, but he's terrible. Just missing shots that he should have scored. And there was a couple of chances, especially in the first half, that Mexico really should have scored. Um, I mean, I was having an argument on Twitter. For me, the starting 11 was decent. I mean, who else apart from Vega? Who else are you going to put in that front three? Maybe Linez. I probably wouldn't have been that confident with Linez up there in there. Especially if he's on the wings. If he was number 10, maybe. But I think Vega's the only one, really. Obviously, we'd all like to see Chicharito back in the squad, but he's not. He's not in the squad for whatever reason. So who else is there? Who else? Henry Martin. I'm not convinced with him for Mexico. Rogelio Funes Mori. I'm not convinced with him. He's not in the squad, but even if he was, I wouldn't be convinced with him. So Mexico are quite dry up front right now, and it's quite worrying, to be honest with you. I think Vega's probably the only one that I think could have started that game and done better than Chucky or maybe even Tecatito. Um, so I don't fault Tata Martino for the starting 11, to be honest with you. I thought it was the best, better than it was better than I thought it was going to be, to be honest with you. I thought Gallardo was the start, I thought Araujo or Moreno would start, so the defense was good. To be honest with you, I really like the defense. It's just something's got to give now. Jimenez is on a slump, like I said. So is Chucky Lozano. Um, I think Raul needs to start looking about making a move away from Wolves now. To be honest with you, definitely don't go back. Don't go to the MLS, but just go somewhere in Europe. Um, it is, I don't know, but then I do fault Tata for the extremely, extremely late subs. Didn't make a sub, I think, till like the 83rd. Well, I think it was the 80th minute, 83rd minute, something like that. Made some good changes. Sorry, brought Gutierrez on. I think he should have come on a lot earlier. Freshen up that midfield, try and get a bit more of a control in the midfield. And obviously Vega came in for Tecatito. I think I would have rather Lozano gone off and kept Tecatito, to be honest with you. Um, Vega didn't have that much of a good impact coming off the bench, unfortunately, but he did only have like 5 minutes, so he still managed to get a yellow card for diving, which has been embarrassing. But you know, if you're in the box and you're 0-0, you can at least understand the motive behind it. You know, he wants to get a penalty in. You know, yeah, it's still embarrassing. You know, it deserved a red yellow card, to be honest with you. But mate, I mean, surely, at the hour mark, 60 minutes, Tata Martino must have looked at that squad and gone, hey, nothing's changing. We haven't improved over the half time. Let's change it up. And the fact that we've got two more games coming up as well. So you'd think that he would want to rotate to keep the team fresh for the next game. But either that or he's looking to completely revamp and rechange the starting 11 for the next game, which I think he will do now. But this is a draw that feels like a loss. And USA will absolutely be celebrating in their locker room because a draw at the Azteca is probably more than they could have hoped for. Um, any other time in any other time in my lifetime, I think they would have lost this game. It's the worst Mexico in a generation, I think now. Not quite sure what's going on. Raul Jimenez, Tecatito, and Chico Lozano should be Mexico's best front three. They should be banging in the goals, especially for a depleted USA team that were clearly rattled from playing in the Azteca. They weren't great, by the way, either. They were pretty poor. Pulisic was off it. And the whole team was off it, really. Timothy Weah, bit of a ghost. Um, the whole team wasn't that great. They were very, very, very defensive, and Mexico just can't break defensive teams down. But they had some decent chances, but they're just woeful with it. And this was a very, very beatable USA team, and the fact that it's a draw, they'll be celebrating. Mexico should be really devastated with this because we needed the 3 points. I don't know what the Canada result is, or any of the other results yet. I'm just not too worried about the actual qualification side of things right now. I'm just focusing on my feelings about the game. Um, I don't know. It's just 4 games, 3 losses, and a draw. And the draw is at home at the Azteca. I mean, maybe, maybe Tata Martino's thinking, okay, well, if I don't make it to the World Cup, I can just leave quicker. And he's just actively sabotaging. I don't blame him for the first 11. I don't blame him for just the poor form that the front three in particular are going through. Do I blame him for not calling up Chicharito? We don't know what the situation is with the Chicharito. Chicharito could have turned the national team down. There could be something off the field, out of Tata Martino's control, that's made him not being able to call him up. Um, I'm not sure. I think Chicharito could have made a difference in this game. I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, he's been in flying form, but this is a USA team, and it's not quite the same as an MLS team. Um, I don't know. But I do blame him for the late subs. He just left it so late, way too late, way too late. The 70th minute for me would have been too late, let alone the 80th, 84th minute, whatever it was. Like a player is not going to, unless there's a corner or a set piece, a player's not going to come off the bench with 5 minutes left to go and have a realistic chance of scoring a goal or affecting the game in any kind of way. So it screams that he was happy for the draw. It screams that he was happy. He must have gone, well, we're containing them. We're probably not going to concede, so let's just contain them. And he's probably happy with the draw, and that's worrying. That's worrying because you're at home, you're at the Azteca. You need to win because we're not second or first, we're third, and you know we needed to win to catch up with Canada and the USA. Um, and it would have been nice to give a psychological edge back because they've beaten Mexico, lost to USA 3 times now, but this game is, I would say, was the most important of all four. Yeah, you can have your Nations League and your Gold Cup. Well done, enjoy that, but we want to go to the World Cup again, and we don't want you to go there again. Just really disappointing. I know. Let me know what you think about the game. What you thought about the players. Who do you think should not start? Who do you think should start? For me, I think there's a total revamp next game. I think Ochoa stays in goal, but I'm hoping to see that the defense stays the same. I think they need to be. They're the future of the Mexican national team, and they need to form a bit of a relationship together. But up front, midfield, sweeping changes. Vega starts, Linus starts, maybe Henry Martin, another striker or whatever. I think all three that start today won't start next game. And the midfield as well. I think Gutierrez maybe starts. Hachacha probably will start again, but sweeping changes, 5 or 6 changes, I think. And it needs to, because this team is just horrific today. It was horrific. It was one of those 0-0 draws that you feel like you've actually lost time over watching. So, pretty sucks. Sucks pretty bad. So, yeah, so we've got 2 more games left to go. I will come back. I won't be able to watch the second game, but I will be able to watch the third game. So, the third game might, I mean, Mexico wise, probably will be the most important one. If we win the next game, and God forbid Canada drops points and USA drops points, then we're alright. But this game is a massive loss for me. Yeah, so let me know what you thought of the game. Let me know what you thought of the players, and I'll see you guys in the comments, and on Twitter as well. So take it easy, and I'll see you guys in a couple of days for the next game. Adios.